You don't get that way unless you're good with people. And he would say these things, and I never believed it. But yes, your emotional state is recognizable, and other people feel it. Who likes hanging around negative people? Hey, Sally, how you doing? Oh, my back hurts. How's work today? Oh, my boss wants to fight. You know, that type of person. You're like, ugh, you're fucking breaking me down, man. Anybody recognize that? Like, because they're making you feel, why? Why, ugh? Why is that popping in my head? They're making you feel that way. Don't make other people feel that way. Agreed? So talkative state is a way of being where you are in a position to be proactive and launch conversational threads that have value in it and can cut and stack and move in different places. Oh my God, nothing can ruin this day. I just conducted a caper with my friends and I, and right now we are celebrating like the end of Ocean's 11. Very little. And then you're off into your next piece. But if I'm this tired, non-talkative guy, and sometimes we're dead tired, we don't want to say anything. You don't go out. You know, if you're so broken you cannot talk, you're not there to drink the beer or dance to My Umbrella, my whatever that song is, you know. You're there to meet people and socialize. So if you're not healthy enough to do it, don't go out. But when you're there, get yourself in talkative state. And a great way to do it, just open your first set. Some people say open your first set on the left. Some people you say first set on the right. There's nothing big left on the right. It doesn't mean anything. I just open whatever's the first set. And yeah, we call them warm-up sets. What is it? It's getting into a conversation with people. Okay, make sense? Now, I just wanted to do a quick rehash of opening, okay? I'm going to now go into attraction A2. I'm going to go over the bullet points. And we're going to take what we learned yesterday and what I'm going to teach you today with A2 material. Then we're going to role play. We're going to go into the opening with the body language, with the opener, the false time constraint, the roll off, back into A2, and start stacking. In addition with Kino. You guys want to do some of that cool Kino stuff you saw yesterday?
Caveman style?
Yeah.
I get to pick you up?
Buy me a drink before you hit on me like that. No, I'll show you the moves, you know, and we can simulate it. And I'm going to talk about different characters in A2 that you can be, okay? Attraction is not a choice. You hear that a lot. What does that mean? Is it a soundbite we use to sell you stuff with? Oh, yeah, maybe. But actually, that's something I believe in. Here's why. If a beautiful woman walks in this room, beautiful, let's say, who's epitomizes beauty in this?
Pam Anderson, age 22.
How about Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct? I'm not really attracted to Pam Anderson, but I can see what you're talking about, like an archetype, you know?
Yeah.
Let's say Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct age, Sharon Stone. She's actually hotter as she got slightly older, as opposed to Sharon Stone in Total Recall. Yeah. Let's take her. She walks in the room. You guys are gonna stop listening to what I'm saying. You're gonna be like, look her up or down, assess her health indicators, you know, her hair, her face, her hip to waist ratio, her breasts, all these different things we look for in men, and we would not even have to discuss it or premeditate it whatsoever. We would do it. And it would irritate you that she was in the room. How many people feel the presence of females in this room?
If I turn around, I do.
Yeah, but remember how you noticed it? You know, it's subconscious, it's there. You would scan these health indicators up and down. We would all do it. Our emotional circuitry is ubiquitous in that regard, based upon what they've taught us as sexy, AKA highest in our value. We will feel attracted in a ubiquitous manner. Agreed? Now, is it unreasonable to assume women have their own attraction circuitry and criteria?
It follows.
Exactly. It's not visually. Here's where we don't play. Visually, if you adhere to an archetype, that one would want to assume highest in our value characteristics, you'll have a window of opportunity immediately presented to you to where you can be congruent with it all. But being good looking in and of itself does not cut it. A man brings S value to the table. So if a guy looks like Flash Gordon, but he's so beta in his behavior, and such a violator in his social violations, where he is a liability, regardless of how good looking he is, she's not going to feel attraction to him. Chelsea, you want to attest to that? Right. So I'm saying, as a woman, if a guy is the most beautiful guy in the world, yet he's so beta and so socially inept, his looks will not save the day. Agreed?
Absolutely.
Agreed. But as guys, we'll put up with a lot of shit from a good-looking girl. Right? So my point is that there's other components to a woman's attraction value judging circuitry. And we are of the opinion they're emotional based and personality based. You have to have characteristics to your personality that she perceives to be alpha, that bring high S value to the table if she's going to bring her R value, her beauty, her replication ability to the table. Thus, in that regard, attraction is not a choice. Make sense? Attraction switches. Now that attraction is not a choice, what are the attraction switches that we believe that a woman looks for? We're going to get into the primary ones, and there's others as well. But a man must be the leader of men. Okay, these are really important, so you guys might want to write this down. A guy must be the leader of men. Pre-selected by women. Protector of loved ones. Risk taker. Demonstrate the willingness to walk away, which is actually related to pre-selection. Has the ability to emote. And that his emotional history and his emotional wiring is healthy, it's appropriate, it fires appropriately. I'll get into these. Leader of men, obviously. Leading men in some regard, whether you're the instructor at a martial arts class, whether you're teaching some value, some knowledge of value as I'm doing right now. You know, if I took a picture of this, put it in my Google Earth routine, demonstrated it to a girl, a live demonstration of it, or if I invited a day two here, in this particular regard, I'm playing the role, it's nothing to do with me, of a leader of men. Agreed? Pre-selected by women. Do women feel comfortable around you? Do women find you attractive? Do you have women in your life? That's where walking in with pivots is useful. Instituting jealousy is useful. Women find a guy attractive that other women find attractive. They did an example where they took a male bird and they put him there and they put a plastic female bird next to him, and the other female birds came and wanted to start mating with him. Take away the female bird, is much more, the reaction was night and day different. Protector of loved ones. Do you protect your loved ones, your friends and your family? That's the responsibility of a tribal leader. Tribal leader's responsibility is to protect its tribal members. The tribal members have to rally together and protect the tribal leader when he's in a time of need. That's his responsibility. It's true with presidents. The president has to protect the company, the tribe, and its employees. If one employee is fucking with another or it's sexual harassment, he needs to come in there. One employee is not pulling his weight, he needs to deal with that. He has a responsibility to the tribe. Make sense? Protector of loved ones, okay? Ability to emote. What does that mean? When a woman is sizing you up, she's going to start looking at your emotional circuitry. And does it fire appropriately or not? I'll give you an example. If you're in an alley with your girl and some guy steps to her, you don't get mad. That's inappropriate, right? If you get mad because she left a coffee cup on the kitchen counter and you blow up, that's inappropriate. If you pick up a baby and you're just like, oh, look at this baby. And you're good with children. You know, that's a sign of healthy emotions. That's evidence of the kind of guy you're going to be. Agreed? But she needs to see that. One girl told me one time, you're very primitive. I like you. I was like, what does that mean? You're really easy to understand. I go, what do you mean? You like food, you like sex, and you know, you're like a caveman. I'm like, okay. It was meaning like she was comfortable in her understanding of me. There was no hidden agenda. There was no, there was no, you know, she's not feeling like she's riding on some kind of gamble here. It was simple for her, made it easy for her. Very open and blunt with my communication, still stayed, preserved my value levels, okay? Okay, everybody understand the ability to emote? Let's talk about neg theory. Okay, risk taker, you know? Demonstrating that you have moxie, that using your intellect and your wit, you're able to pull off a caper, rise to a challenge under great risk and peril. You have balls, in other words. Not stupidity. Balls combined with intelligence is attractive. Right? You know what I mean? Demonstrating the willingness to walk away. Demonstrating the willingness to walk away is related to pre-selection. But when you're talking to a girl, boom, 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 and it's on, and you demonstrate that you want her, you don't need her. There's a difference. And to demonstrate the willingness to walk away, that in itself is very attractive. Neg theory. What is a neg? A neg is a way of disqualifying yourself as a potential suitor. And it also gives evidence to your perception of your value relative to hers. They come in many forms, you know? Hey, pull my finger. You know, who does that? The kind of guy trying hard to impress? No. The kind of guy doesn't care, who's unreactive, doesn't give a damn. That in itself is a neg. Am I insulting her? No. But I'm disqualifying myself as a potential suitor, correct? Counterintuitive, right? Or you could say, you know, you look like, I'm not saying you are, and I'll pat it real quick, real properly. I do this like in every set of us. You look like the biggest bitch, but you're not. You're totally cool. Surprising. And it's a really great push-pull. But I do it very fun and play and very delicately. And I would say, I didn't say you were. I could lie to you. And I'll reframe it as, if I say anything other than I'm being, you know what I mean, I'm violating something. I could lie to you. You want me to lie to you? I could lie to you. I mean, no, why? Why do I look like this a bit? I don't know, you just, you have that look. You're not, that's the funny part. Which is a neg, right? And we'll get into particular negs that you can use. There's all kinds of negs. A lot of them basically give evidence to the fact you're not trying hard and you're disqualifying yourself as the guy who is interested and is trying to suit her. You're disqualifying yourself as a suitor. There's a consistent pattern through them all, if you analyze it very closely. Oh, don't start. I've eaten girls like you for breakfast. You want to make me come down there? It's good you know how to fight. You're gonna have to fight for me. It's worth it. Now, what kind of guy does that? The kind of guy courting a girl? No. The kind of guy who's just being him, who doesn't care. Then he can start building attraction. Everybody understand what negs are now. They've been misunderstood, I think, a little bit. And the appropriate response to a neg is laughter.
You mean if you receive one?
If a girl receives one, it's like, what? Oh my God. Smiling, laughter. A positive response. Not anger. If she's angry, if she's insulted, then you're not doing it right. Okay?
I do that, so.
Yeah, and here's why.
Or that.
Maybe you're not playful enough when you do it. Maybe you're not smiling enough when you do it. Maybe maybe the neg is not doesn't have a calibrator on it. You know, like I calibrate. You look like the biggest bitch, but you're not. That's the funny part. You're absolutely cool. And that's the calibration. I get into it real quick before that neg sinks in and starts to create really. It'll dip her a little bit and then pull her back up with the compliment at the end. Right? Can you really get mad at me logically if I said that? You know, dude, I don't mean to insult you, but, you know, I can't help but think, like, your wife looks like the meanest, grumpiest bitch in the world, but she is the most amazing person I met tonight. Would you get mad at me? I mean, I can't help, it just popped, and people say the same thing about me, and I can go to another routine, but I'm not. I shouldn't judge people by their first book. By what's that? What's the expression?
Judge a book by its cover?
Yeah, whatever. It's that, you know, and go into that. I'll give you an example. My ex-girlfriend in college was in the music school, and she loved adventure. She's an artist, you know, kind of like myself. And I took her on a road trip, and I'm going into another gambit that's more drawn out. That's a good segue that I used for that. Not a segue, but just a good place to transition into that particular gambit, which has multiple DHV spikes built into it. Okay? DHV, what is a DHV? Everybody understand what a DHV is? Demonstration of higher value. What is it? It is a demonstration that you have high SNR value characteristics. They can be logical statements of these attraction switches. It can be a live demonstration when you're actually with two girls on your arm as opposed to talking about two girls on your arm. It can be evidence of humor. Humor is very powerful. In addition, having baseline intriguing, interesting stories delivered in a mysteries game has a lot of intrigue-based game. I shift between those. I have humor, I have alpha caveman, and I go into intrigue when it's appropriate, usually in comfort. But I find in high energy, very chaotic environments, alpha caveman character works best, and then in an isolation scenario, going into intrigue and interesting is good, releasing it with humor. Okay? But evidence of humor, which is a demonstration of intelligence, and being interesting and delivering it, like I told you, in a be fascinating, be contagiously enthusiastic, you know, have some beliefs in this world, show that you're passionate about something, and not just talking, not sitting back like this. Yes, so Kathy, I have an ex-girlfriend in college and blah 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 blah. You know, my ex-girlfriend. I don't typically rank women. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, off the charts. She's my woman. You know, it's like my little knucklehead. I didn't really look at her like a hot chick. Man, I loved her. Anyway, I took her, and then I'm going into the story. I'm animated. I'm charismatic about it. Charisma is just basically you're talking with somebody, they're making you feel all these emotions while you're talking to them. But we backwards rationalize, hey, this person's charismatic. What does that mean? It means you feel good around them. That's it. Right? Everybody knows what a DHV is now. It's demonstrations of personality characteristics combined with the attraction switches that we talked about. DHV is a form of an IOI. Okay, so we insulate ourselves by calibrating with an IOD. And we're going to get into that in attraction. I'll give you an example. Hey guys, get this. Would you think it's cheating if a girl kisses another guy as a boyfriend? I have to get back to my friends in a second. What if she's making out with another girl? Is that still cheating? All right, my buddy's girlfriend was making out with another girl. Are you guys best friends? I could tell. You make the exact same facial expressions. Boom, little hit. And I'll maybe insulate it with an indicator of dissent just by pretending I'm walking away. Get it? Because they are both forms of indicating. You don't DHV to a homeless guy. You go to a homeless guy, open it with C's versus U's. You don't see that, right? So you're right. You are communicating interest, but we insulate ourselves by calibrating it with IODs. In this case, it was a nonverbal, which is light enough, you know? Because as I'm talking, she may not think I'm hitting. She may think I'm hitting on her slightly. I haven't given her statement of intent. I just feel that slightest little tremor of body language. Is that you guys make the exact same facial expressions? Boom! It will hit IOIs. I want to just now roll off just a little bit and let them reopen me, and then reward them again. Get it? There's a pattern for that. So, for example, when I roll off on an attraction spike, it's a big laughter eruption. Okay? Boom! I'll roll off and just like look around, and they could do one or two things. They could back turn, which is there's no interest at all. They could be waiting for me to reopen them. I have to hold firm. This in itself is a passive IOI. Because standing there waiting for the guy to talk to you, you could easily just go like this and lock me out, right? But this in itself is a sign of interest. Not a heavy sign, but some sign. So I'm going to put myself in their path for them to be like, hey, nice ring. What am I working with here? You like this ring? Yeah, let me show you something cool. And you do that, whatever. And then, boom, oh my God, how'd you do that? The power, the glory, and now roll off. boom, he'll come, then I'll reward them again. Now, if it doesn't come, the reinitiation from them, before they leave, or before they completely block me out, oh, by the way, that reminds me, go back into a DHV. So the timing is really important. You want to hold firm in your roll-off until they reinitiate, okay? Because that itself is making them work for you. You want to start that process early. But if they don't, good question, what do? If you sense it's about to go away, about to lose it, oh, by the way, that reminds me, go back in and neg and go back in. We'll get into that in microcalibration, which I'm going to get into in a little bit. Sometimes you'll open a set, you'll get shit tests. Shit tests are a way of girls testing your resolve, the type of emotional fortitude you have, evidence of how you respond to things. Whoa, that hat looks really stupid. You could just, you know, look at her like, I am so sure, and then stack forward, a playful way. Great way of being in terms of dealing with shit tests is a cocky, funny response. I like to have this 4th grade smartass character I used to be, where I could think of something funny to say no matter what anybody says to me. You know, somebody, like last night I got a shit test. Oh my God, you have so much, why don't you shave your chest hair off? And I go, I'd say, well, I'll shave mine off if you shave yours off. And I smiled, you know, and I did a playful way. She's like, ah, right? You know, why don't you shave your chest hair? Okay, but you first. And I calibrated, kissed her. All right, get off you, woman. Hey, lady, I'm not gonna have sex with you tonight. Stop. Ah! And starts laughing again. And that's how fast I recovered from it. Right?
I watched that one.
Yeah. It's a shit test. She doesn't care about my chest hair. And quite frankly, it's very fucking sexy, if you ask me. But it was, she's seeing how I was going to respond to it, that criticism. There's different ways of handling this. Cocky, funny, smart-ass 4th grader routine. In fact, I use that smart-ass 4th grader routine. Okay? You know, outwitting a girl is just a great DHV. You know, just boom, but it's got to all be playful. She has to just, if you beat her, she has to look like, that type of look, okay? Not like, if it goes too harsh, you're doing it wrong. Yeah. You look like the type of girl that would puke in the back of the Bentley. Ah, what do you mean? All right, give me your hands. Oh, what do you like, your palms? Woman, gross. All right, you give me your hands. I'll get back to you in a second. And then playful, and she should be like intrigued and wanting to get your validation back. Shit test. If she shit tests, cocky, funny response. Smart-ass 4th grader routine. You can positively misinterpret it. You know, oh my God, you're gonna shave your chest hair off? So what is it you find about, okay, you can say this, you like my chest hair, don't you? All right, anyway, and then stack forward. Or you could be like, so what do you find, what is it about chest hair that turns you on? You could actually demonstrate, you think that she was actually complimenting you on your chest hair. I misinterpret what she says to my advantage as a compliment. Right? Okay, there's something happening with value levels in A2. Now remember, sometimes some of you cats may be good looking, or a girl may give you the benefit of the doubt and may want to just now go into comfort with you, or make her, you got to make her feel like she's earning you, winning you over. So you may have attraction right off the bat, but we're going to go with the scenario where you don't have it right off the bat. What's happening here? In A2, not really good A2. In A2, at the beginning of A2, we're going to assume Because of the meta frame of the situation, it's a club. Men go there to meet women. Because of the frame, that the meta frame has caused that us even approaching a girl, we're hitting on her, we're going to assume that unless there's evidence to the contrary, that we are of lower value. Not inherently, but in her eyes, okay? What we must do through DHVs and negs must increase our value and lower her value, resulting in this value calibration setting over here at the end of A2. Now, when I say evidence to the contrary, if a girl comes up and opens you on your hat, what can you assume? That some level of attraction is there. So, I ask you gentlemen, should you neg right here and there? The answer is kind of convoluted, yes and no. No, you don't neg, but return with an IOI, but calibrate it with an IOD. I like your hat. You are absolutely adorable, but buy me a drink before you hit on me like that. Smile. Immediately, so I have to smile. Because I, as an individual, for whatever reasons, can come across harsh unless I'm proactive in making sure I don't come across harsh. Right? Oh, you are adorable. Buy me a drink before you hit on me like that. And I'll come in, all right, get off me. And I'll walk away, and it's just enough for her to stay and want to win me. Get it? Can you feel it when I just did that little demo? How somebody would feel? Can you feel it?
I understand.
Okay. So at the end of A2, this is where we need to be. Does everybody understand that concept? What we're doing? Yeah. Hopefully, you're in the set, you know, and you think to yourself, where the hell am I? What is going on here? This is what's going on. You're manipulating your value levels. And value calibration, when we talk about that, I'm not going to get into the most complex set of variables yet, but when you look at a woman, there is her perception of her value relative to yours and vice versa. But it's not her value that you should calibrate towards, okay? It's her perception of her value. I'll give you an example. Who's gone to Brazil? Women are beautiful down there, right? You take one of those average Brazilian girls, throw in Hollywood, she's a superstar, right?
I've seen a lot of Brazilians.
Yeah, but in Brazil, she looks like every other girl because the women are beautiful down there.
Right.
So if you open this Brazilian girl in Hollywood, who may be in a foreign land, may not be as confident, she doesn't know the language, the people, the customs, and neg her, doesn't matter how hot you think she is, what you should calibrate towards is her perception of her value, right? So how do we do that? Well, there's a lot of evidence out there. A woman acts and carries herself that kind of will give you a clue as to how she thinks about herself. Chelsea, you got your purse? You don't have a purse? Okay. Let's say that you had a purse, right? Your girl's walking around like this, you know, like her shit doesn't stink. You're gonna come in with a, you're gonna start off at A3, right? If you're a truck driver, you're gonna start off at A3. You know how you suck? Woman, I've been standing here 10 minutes waiting for you to come talk to me. You Miss Popular, been surrounded by all these people. What's so special about you? Right? Can you see that working as opposed to, I like your shoes? Okay. So I'm calibrating to her perception of her value. Let's go over stacking. You guys know what stacking is, multiple thread theory, okay? It's okay to start here, stack in this direction, come back, stack in this direction, launch thread 1, thread 2, thread 3, finish this thread, come back, go into this thread, go into this thread, open loop here, go all over the place. And I'm doing that because I'm gauging where I am. Okay, am I befriending? Oh, by the way, okay, picking up 1 through 4, got it? Okay, 1 second. Now imagine this, you're walking up to a strawberry field. Okay, 1 second, boom, finish that thread, come back. You can do that. You don't want to be entertainer type guy. When doing it, it just look like you're a talkative guy. That's your way of being. And you're actually able to conduct this many threads and talk in that manner. And your mind goes all over the place. You understand this type of character that will allow you to do that, as opposed to Ryan Seacrest, or where he has to be all, or a talk show host. You know what I'm saying? In A2, let's talk about characters that you can play. In this book, Primal Leadership, it talks about the leadership styles. I think I mentioned it earlier. They said a hybrid style is the best depending on the situation. Likewise, in this crazy, high-energy, fun, night-type environment, it's okay, in my opinion, to be a very playful kind of guy. Boyish charm, smiling a lot. The type of guy that will provide a bass palette to do bold kino moves like I was doing last night. But I have a serious side to me. I run this business. I'm here teaching you guys, that I'm not being that guy now. This is not the right situation for it. Whoever said you had to be one character? You can accentuate different parts depending on the different, and people do this every day. What's that expression, get into character? Where did that come from? Because, you're playing a football game, Are you the romantic, soulful Casanova in the middle of the huddle? Or are you the middle of the huddle guy in bed? All right, baby. No, you're not that guy. There's different, so you understand that there's different characters to play. And hopefully last night I demonstrated to you the power of being a fun, playful, alpha caveman type character. And when you do that in A2, you present your value levels. Who saw me isolate those 2 girls? And I ran another routine on them. Then I isolated one of them. Then I could go A3, let her work, rapport pinging back. Honestly, I was not attracted to the girl. And I'm not here to, this is just a demo set, but it takes a lot of time to run a good set, and really make her feel like you're interested in her. I don't like to fake that, but I think I got my point across with her, that she's ready for that now. She's going to accept that now. Make sense? Befriending the obstacles. You guys know when you go in, befriend the obstacles. They could be guys, they could be girls. So, like, there was a tall girl there. I actually did make an error last night. I told one of the guys he looked like Hanson. He got upset. And we were actually, I didn't care about him, but there was a hot, tall blonde in his group. And it just blew the whole thing. But the point is that I actually went and talked to him first. I probably should spend 5 minutes on him, and then his other friend, the whole group. Maybe do the karate coin snatch, lead the whole group. It takes time to do that. When we say befriend the obstacles, you really understand what we're talking about now. It's a performance. It takes time. So girl better be worth it. Who understands what I mean now? Who can see what I was talking about last night? Okay, mystery matador going into that, going to get that girl. We don't even approach her. Go to this guy. So he goes, who's the set? I go, all these 7 people are together. Oh, okay, so he's going to go in there. Hi, how you doing? I'm gay. I'll disqualify myself because it's his set, so I'm no threat. Because, dude, I don't look like the howdy-doody guy. A girl goes home with me, she knows she's going to get fucked, right? So I can go ahead and say that I'm the gay guy, and I'm comfortable with it, Style can come in on the radar, right? I would even say, okay, little man, go for it. Take your best shot. I would let him, but he's dangerous. But I would let him, but I don't get that luxury. I get, what the fuck are you doing here? That type of response. So I go ahead and disqualify myself, especially when it's not my set. Because I'm not there for any agenda. I just want to be there and talk to the guys and neutralize them. He'll come in, and he uses his magic for leadership, for leading the men in field, I know I have some pieces like that, and I don't, there's the straw, there's this one, whatever, but actually teaching him something. Karate coin snatch is a great way to own a group of guys. If you lead the men, the women will follow. And once we've done that, she sees it, she'll be really warmed up, and all these people will love me. And I'm going to go talk to her and start off from there, see where I'm at. Am I getting IOIs? Move into A3. Cycle back to A2 or just be interesting, non-reactive, non-needy, funny. Throw up another hoop, let her win. Let her DHV to me, find things to compliment her on her DHV threads. I'll get into that into A3. How it's not just hoop after hoop after hoop. Let her talk. She's talking. She's trying to convey something to you. Shut up, listen, ping her, on what the meaning of that thread was. Oh my God. And there's an emotional meaning to it mostly. Demonstrate you really, really know how to listen, and you heard that exchange, right? Contagious enthusiasm is just another way of, a way of being when you're communicating these threads in A2. The character is a base palette for you to be able to demonstrate all these emotions, be enthusiastic about what you're talking about when we said energy levels. And who understands this concept? The way you say something. Nothing can ruin this day. I just conducted a caper with my friends and I. And right now, we're celebrating like the end of Ocean's 11. You get the idea? Oh, really? What? Now I can say, I just conducted a caper with my friend. I can say it like that, but it's not going to have the same effect. Make sense? Wing rules. Now, there was no big PUA summit where we all decided on wing rules, okay? But here are the general wing rules that has bubbled up to the top. Whoever calls the set, opens the set, owns the set. So typically, they have the first choice to make something happen with the attractive girl in the group. Most of the time, you'll know who that girl is. It's etiquette not to cut him off or try to actually Kino escalate and game that girl. You may see, like Mystery saw that blonde girl. She was cute, not really my type, whatever. But I could see objectively how she was cute. And he said, could you open her for me? He didn't say, I was like, sure. Why? What's this an advanced play that we use? Not that he's scared to open, but I can go and disqualify myself thoroughly. Open her. I'm in no danger of communicating too much interest too quick. I can DHV him with an accomplishment intro. He's not bragging because he's not saying it. His back is turned, he's over there. And then merge her into the set, introduce her, roll off. I could come back in, game her some more, DHV and some more, roll off, and we just ping pong back and forth. And it's a safe entry. It's just a good tactical play. Right?
That was early on last night.
Yeah, the tall blonde, right?
Yeah.
It actually picked her up and moved her here.
That was very fast.
Yeah, man.
I watched that. You went in. It was maybe 30 seconds, 60 seconds. You grabbed her hand and led her on.
Yeah, I don't think you really realize who you're fucking with here. No, it was very fast. These things happen very fast, okay? Attraction happens really fast. We're breaking this down logically, but they happen just so fast. But hopefully, oh my God, all this happened just now. And that's how it looks. Reading this on the internet is different from seeing it and feel. That's why you're paying this money, to come see it and feel. And I'll do it again tonight for you, but I want to see you guys doing more of it too. Right? So I open. Oh my God, you look like the biggest bitch. But you're not, that's the thing. I'm way too gay for you. Oh, by the way, you want to meet Mystery? Don't embarrass me. What's your name? All right. So I'm not into her, I'm not a suitor. What am I? I'm a value messenger? I don't know, but it's safe. Merge in, boom, I'm out. I'll come back in later. And that's what we did. We switched off. I ran Kino. Basically, I'm running Kino. I'm being fun. I'm being unreactive, playful. But I'm also DHVing him some more. And then he'll come back in and I'll roll. Also, there's a couple other advantages to that. By me coming in and him rolling off, no one's gonna hijack the set. Number two, he gets to demonstrate the willingness to walk away. And if he's smart, he'll go into another female set. And if there is attraction there, it should start the jealousy process or introduce a hint of jealousy. She may be attracted. She may not feel jealous, because jealous is that she feels she has some entitlement to you. She owns you, or she has a connection with you. Like jealousy, you may be attracted to a rock star, right? Whatever your favorite rock star is. Other girls are attracted to him too. Are you jealous of those other girls? No, because you don't own him yet. What if he was your rock star? What if he was singing to you, Chelsea? Then you might get jealous. Yeah, exactly. So jealousy comes into play when there's a feeling of loss, a potential for loss. But if you never owned it in the first place, you're not going to feel jealous, right? So jealousy really works best in comfort. After A3, or A3 to the point where a statement of interest has been released, and she feels that she really has a shot. There's some connection there. Entering the set. There's a basic standard. There's other ways to do it, but a basic, simple, foolproof routine is my wing is in set, okay? I'm going to tap him on the shoulder. I'm going to be positioned myself to where all I have to do is go like this to be engaged with the obstacle. I don't want the obstacle on that side where I have to go like this. It looks clunky. Okay? Can you visualize what I'm talking about? Hey man, have you seen Michelle? Oh yeah, she's over there. Okay, cool. Hey, where are you going? What? You should meet these girls. They're pretty cool. Really? Who's the cool one? And he's going to point to the obstacle that should be right here. I'll go, oh really? You're very little. And now I'm going into A2. So we can split this 2 set. He can game her. And I'm just going to occupy her. And if it's not my set, and I don't particularly have any interest in this girl, I'll just disqualify myself from being a potential suitor. Oh my God. Maybe I could bring up that gay frame or whatever to disqualify myself so much to where I can just be DHVing out there who's fun, friendly, and she's not going to get creeped out by it. Because my purpose there is to engage. But if it's a two set of hotties, then I'll have to play it a little bit differently, okay? Now, if it's a 2 set where you know, if you're in the set, it's a 2 set, and you know your wing is going to like this girl, accomplishment introing him before he gets in there, about after 3 minutes or so, is probably the best thing to do. DHVing your wing and his accomplishments is actually a DHV to yourself. Shows that you have high-value male alignments in this world. I'll give you an example. I'm going to introduce you to my friend Neil. He's a writer for Rolling Stone magazine. He wrote the biography called The Dirt on Molly Crew. Let me put it in perspective, the type of writer he is. I had a party at my house. There's a musician on the air you and I both know of. I don't want to name drop because that's tacky. But he is on the air as we speak. And I invited him and Neil to a party of mine. And they didn't know each other, but I introduced them. And upon meeting Neil, he said, "Are you Neil Strauss, author of the book The Dirt? Man, you changed my life, bro. I read your book when I was growing up, and it inspired me to become a musician and a rock star, and that's how I became what I am today." Got down on his knees and kissed his feet in the middle of my living room. My good buddy Neil, that type of writer. I'm about to introduce you. Don't embarrass me. Cut. Now, when Neil enters the set, how do you think what kind of reception he's going to get?
High value.
Right. Now, do I look better for knowing a guy like that? And you see the embedded DHV spikes in that story? Musician on the air as we speak. I had a party. He's over at my house. Who is this? Marilyn Manson? Who is this? You know? I'm not bragging about me, bragging about my wing. He'll come in, take over the set. It's okay. And if you have a good wing and you know the rules, you don't have to worry about him. I don't worry about mystery hijacking my sets. We call who wants who, and I trust that he's going to do what he's going to do, and he trusts that I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And he doesn't get upset if I run Keno on his girl and vice versa, because by working together, we are more powerful. Why fight each other? So, in fact, he may come in, take over the set. Oh, I got to be back in a second. I may leave, rolling off, go open another set, lock in eyesight, let her know pre-selection switch. If it's not jealousy, it's pre-selection, okay? It's always good to have girls around you. I don't throw a blanket statement like that, but it's good most of the time. This case, she's saying, oh, other women find him attractive. Other women are hitting on him. You know, if we have pivots like we did, you know, Casey will come in. All she has to do is put her hand right here on my shoulder and talk to me. I'll just lean back and just be like, blah, 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 whatever. Make sure she sees that. That's a live demonstration right there. Come back in, and it's just more on. Right? I know what you're thinking. Damn, this is a lot of work, man. I tell you what, once you go put a rock album together, let's see which is easier. You know what I'm saying? We all have to pay some way. Right? There's a story. I think it was Eric, it was Mystery, and somebody else. He's telling me the story. It's a funny story. That they were in some restaurant in Hollywood. Mark McGrath was there back in the day when Sugar Ray was big. And this super hot girl was in there with her boyfriend. So the best way, when he recanted the story, I could visualize it. The hot girl's table was here. Mark McGrath was here. There's a curved surface right here to where she could see him, but the boyfriend couldn't see him. Is that making sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And so Mark McGrath, them, and the crew's right here. So they're seeing like they can see both. You ever visualize that? I got a better way to draw this. HB. Us. Okay. So I guess the HB's sitting right here at this table. Her boyfriend's right here. Mark McGrath's right here. So there's a direct line of sight. We can see both. So we're looking at her because she's the hottie. And we're looking at her looking at him because he's the hottie, right, from her perspective. So she gets up, and I think the bathroom door was here, or some here or something like that, okay? She gets up, goes into the bathroom, comes back, gets down on her, crouches like this, and starts talking to him, gaming him, and gets his phone number out of sight of her boyfriend. Then once she gets his phone number, comes back and sits down with her boyfriend. And everybody here is looking at it like, holy shit, that's not fair, man. We got to learn all this crap, all this theory. And this guy just comes in here and gets the girl. And then I think Mystery goes, no, you guys are missing it. We got to learn all this theory. That motherfucker had to put together a whole album. Get it? So everybody's got to pay. Funny story, huh? When you're in lock-in position, what does lock-in position mean? It's very important. I'll repeat. It's very important. Sometimes overlooked. It is overlooked. But in 3 minutes in, you need to get to a position where you're leaning back and the girls are leaning into you. If somebody were to take a picture of it and show it to a group of people, they should come to the conclusion that the girl is into you. Our body language should be communicating that. If you're at a bar, lean back on the bar, have the girl talking to you. If you're against the wall, leaning back on the wall, the girl talking to you. If you're sitting down, don't stand there and talk to them. Sit down on one or other side of the girl, usually on the side of the hot girl, the target. Here's why. The target's here, the obstacle is here. I can lean over the shoulder and talk to the obstacle. By proximity, she is going to hear everything I'm saying, and it's okay for me to be that close to her, especially since I'm beside her. And we did that opening drill, and you see what it feels like to be beside somebody as opposed to directly in their face. I can keep both the girls engaged, and they both can hear me, as opposed to sitting in the center and having to go like this and having to go like this. Right? So in this case, sit down next to the target. But it's locking as opposed to standing up and talking to him like that, like the dancing monkey. Sit down right here and project over. Does everybody understand lock-in position? How it looks? So when I say lock-in tonight, you'll know what that means. Now, after locking, when you go for lock-in, you should start receiving about, you should be in A2 already, starting to get some IOIs to where you can get a certain level of compliance. The type of compliance you want in this area is enough for a spin move. What is that? Spin move is where you grab the hand and you spin the girl, and as she's spinning, you step in and take her spot. Chelsea, can I borrow you for a second? Oh, Are you gonna have a problem being on video? Because if not, I can just. Okay. Okay, so let's say there's a wall. Why don't you stand right here? Let's say, and face me. Now, let's say that there is a wall behind Chelsea, okay? Open, blah, blah, blah. We're talking. Let me see your hand. Turn around, spin for me. I step in, and now I'm against the wall, and then I stack forward with a conversational thread. I'm leaning back, and I'm talking. And she, you know what I'm saying? And she should be not so much like leaning into me, but remember what I told you about vocal projection? If I launch into the thread here and then lower my voice, she'll feel the tendency to go, you know, it won't be like that, but she will feel compelled to draw closer to me. And I won't be touching her at all. Isn't that cool? Thank you. Appreciate it. Can anyone visualize that happening? Frame control. In life, there are people always trying to present the current frame or meaning of the interaction to you. Happens all the time in the media, all over the place. I'll give you a great example, Mr. Bush. And I'm not trying to get political here, but you see it all the time, just the first thing that popped to mind. How can you justify going in and occupying a country, just taking it over like that? Well, I think the real question is, how do we rally the freedom fighters of the world to help install democracy and overthrow dictatorship? Right? Two ways out. Who's right, who's wrong? However many people buy into this frame versus this frame. Now, it's so fluid. Sometimes I wonder if there's anything real in life because everyone's blaming him. It's a mistake this, mistake that. No, those things only come up after the fact. If it was a great success, he'd be called hero. George Washington could have been called a treasonist. Now he's a founding father. Same guy, same action, but because of the outcome, he's the founding father as opposed to a treasonist, right? So when people present frames of the world to you, do some independent thinking before you buy into it. All that philosophy at the beginning, do you really see it now? The social matrix?
Remember, it isn't working.
About theory of perception, about story theory, about how a lot of ideas we operate by are not our own, where they come from, but we live by them, and we're not careful, we may die by them. And frame control, people always present it to you. Whoever's frame stronger will win. Some people hold their frame to the most diluted sense. How many people thought Saddam Hussein was lying?
About what?
When he said he didn't have weapons?
Most.
He held his frame strong all the way till the neck cracked, broke his neck. Are you gonna buy me a drink? Saying yes or no, right? Automatically demonstrates you're buying into that frame, that she's the prize of some sort. Don't even accept that frame, or positively misinterpret a different frame. Are you gonna buy me a drink? Oh my God, is that your best pickup line? Right? You see what I just did? I did not acknowledge that frame she was trying to present to me. People do this to us. I've been schooled so many times by people who knew this stuff naturally, but it happens constantly. You know, I may go in for the kiss and be like, you are so not hooking up with me tonight. Get that look out of your eye. Mwah. And get off me. Make sense? Somebody explained it to me the first time, and I was like, well, what do you mean you can't say yes? What do you mean you can't say no? What are you talking about, dude? Frame control. But yeah, it's if you can't say yes, you can't say no. What can you say? Don't accept the frame. Well, what frame, dude? What are you talking about? But yeah, it makes perfect sense now. Don't accept the frame, you know? Like, another good example is somebody tries to criticize you, you can pretend you heard something else and not even accept that frame. Dude, your hat looks stupid. Hey, how you doing? And you stack forward to your next thread. Right?
Yeah.
Like you're a celebrity and you're Tiger Woods, you're walking back to your team. And it was like, hey Tiger, hey fuck you Tiger, hey how you doing? And you treat them like they're a fan. You see what I mean? We do it with another good way is Cool Man. Hey man, what are you, some kind of magician? Hey buddy, how are you? And then stack forward, you could be like, he says, no, what are you, a magician? Cool man. And you keep going forward. Hey man, I love your hat. Cool man. Like you heard him and you're just being polite, but you're not really hearing him. You're not accepting his frame. I'm sorry, what were you saying? Oh, before you get to that, 1 second, and then stack forward. Okay, go ahead. All right, that's it, I've heard enough. And then go into it. You know, because there's a sequence you can do. You go, hey, how you doing? And then stack forward, ignore, and if he just is too letting up, what I do is that if he keeps on plowing to the point of ridiculousness, I'll keep talking to the girl with a slight smirk on my face, letting her know I know, and that I'm holding my frame, and I'll just keep talking. It has such a powerful effect. I don't know why. To the point where she will go, hold on, would you shut up? And then and do it for you. And then I reserve this particular gambit. If he starts to get insultive to her, I'm like, okay, I'll handle this. Okay, what were you saying? All right, that's it, I've heard enough. And then stack forward, okay? All right, go ahead. And I'll let him finish. Dude, I was just saying your hat looks really stupid. No, I don't want to go there. I want to get back to me. And then stack forward with her again, okay? And I'm sorry? No, I heard you. I'm just sorry. I said, cocksucking makes you deaf. All right, and then usually you can just blow him, just tool him. I can tool him for 5 minutes.
You calibrate based on the size of the other person. Or, you know, whether or not they might punch you or something.
Usually, the guy is so deflated after he has lost her validation and yours. Now, if the guy has to be out of control, like drunk or on drugs, at that point, usually after 1 or 2 of these tactics will neutralize him. And if it's gotten to that point, I'm not going to stop living my life. And what am I going to do? Run? I don't live that way. So this is all I can do. And it's gotten to like DEFCON 3 type tactics, okay? Pure on AMOG battle.
Right.
Now, I've met some big guys in this world. But whoever the size of the guy is, if I get attacked, I have no option but to defend myself. Now, if I'm in a public place, I'm not going to let some guy just come in and take this girl and blow me out. I don't choose not to live, but you know, if he's got a gun, I may say, okay, you can have her. But no matter what, you know, I believe that, you know, this is how I can't tell you how to respond, but the way I do it is I would hold firm, and I usually never get to the point of fighting. But if it did, I would take what was ever coming. And what my plan is you know, cover up, don't get hit, take it to the ground, and let security break it up. Well, that's probably what's going to happen. But it's messy and it ruins the night, you know. Yeah. But what can I do now? You know, I'm AMOGing. It's gotten to that point, and it got bad, man. In New York, these 2 Marines, I just blew him the fuck out with just acknowledging him. And it got so bad, you know, he just plowed that the girl said, shut up. You know, could you shut up? And then he shut up after, but it got so bad. So it didn't get to, it's never gotten to the fighting point, but if it did, that's how I would respond.
So in some cases, we're befriending and making the male obstacle our buddy. In another case, we're ignoring.
Exactly. But he's coming in AMOGing.
I see.
I will befriend him on my terms. So I'm going to hold firm and drop him a peg or two. And what were you saying? Oh, you know, even better, and going to a thread, teaching him something, befriending him, owning him. But, you know, it depends on how you got to play it. See, in this case, it's just the next guy. It's not her friend.
Right.
In this case, it's just the next guy. It's not her social circle. Some drunk dork.
Right.
And sometimes I'll be talking. The guy will come in with his drunken fog breath. Then I'll go, okay, man, just pick the girl up and just walk with her. Like Tarzan, and just put her down. And just keep, oh, sorry, I hit the, and just put her down and keep talking. Pin her up against the wall, talk in her ear. And the guy will be just tooling. I mean, he'd just be trying to enter. It's going nowhere. That happened in Austin, actually. When we were filming. And we were filming a scene. And this guy did that. I just picked up, it was actually the blonde girl who it was actually the blonde girl. I picked her up, just walked her, put her down, and just started talking with her still. And the guy just totally looked like a jackass. But if it's a friend in her social circle, don't be rude. Introduce me to your friend. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And then go the friendship route. You don't have to AMOG in that case. You're violating socially. What kind of position does that put her in? You get to an AMOG battle with her orbiter, her guy friend.
Yeah.
You got to win him. You got to own him. You got to teach him something. You don't have to AMOG him. The guy comes in AMOGing first. You gotta beef it up. Does everybody understand what you got to do? You see the interrupt coming, a guy or a girl. Don't be rude. Introduce me to your friend. You have to release. If you don't, you could lose this set. You have to release, or you could lose the set. Okay? Because if you don't, she's in an awkward position by letting her male friend just sit here like a dork, right? Your best tactical move, don't be rude, introduce me to your friend. Hey, you dress her up, you can't take her anywhere. Hey, cool style, man. I'm from Miami. We kind of dress like that, actually. Blah, blah, blah. You can logically engage him. It's easy to talk to guys. Win him, teach him something. Make sure she sees it. Karate, coin snatch, whatever. You know, it's really funny sometimes. You'll be teaching a guy a karate coin snatch. You'll be like, dude, that's awesome, bro. You rock, blah, blah, blah. And he's so excited and happy to be your friend. You're just like, wow, you have no clue what I just did. And I feel a little bad, honestly, but hey, life is, you gotta fight for what you want.
Are you going to teach us the karate coins?
Huh?
Are you going to teach us the karate coin?
Yeah, I'll teach you that. So you do that, you're talking, and you're teaching him. It's a great routine to do to own a group of guys, and then you can teach him afterwards how it works. And that is what you're doing. You're actually leading the men. That's the whole purpose of this. Okay? Does everybody know what an interrupt is?
Waitress comes for drinks.
Right. It could be external. They could be internal. External interrupt, where somebody, something in your environment causes a delay. If you cannot see a clear path for the first 3 minutes, don't enter. Okay? You need those 3 minutes. You may have attraction off the bat, but we're going to assume you don't, statistically. And if you see a clear path for 3 minutes, then enter. Okay? Pause. If you don't see a clear path in the first 3 minutes, then don't enter. Whatever the conditions aren't right. Come in. You can always come in later. It's up to you. But the interrupt comes, okay? And you see him coming, or her, and before they even say anything, don't be rude, introduce me to your friend. That would be the polite thing to do. Hey, how you doing? And then talk to him or her and befriend them. Great routine for that. If it's a single set you're opening, a girl comes in, don't be rude, introduce me to your friend. That would be the polite thing. Hi, how you doing? You guys are good friends, I can tell. You make very similar facial expressions. Boom, attraction spike. Roll off, come back in, and then just own the group again. As opposed to her turning, talking to her, you're sitting there, standing there, idly doing nothing. Communicating too much interest, especially if she hasn't earned it yet. Right? Yes?
What do you mean by
Okay. If the set's walking, are they in line at Burger King? You know, are they in the middle of a street with oncoming traffic? You know, is anything going to interrupt you in the first 3 minutes? For example, I was on a plane and I didn't open the set yet or get into it. I could, it doesn't matter. You can open it and then reopen it, it doesn't matter. But I saved all my best stuff, my just surefire DHV and rich stories when we were in the air. Because what has to happen? The engine's got to start. The captain's got to make his announcements. You're going to have the drink girl come by, the peanut girl come by. All these different things, you know. Hello, ladies, welcome to American Airlines flight number, blah, blah, blah. We're traveling over the Grand, you know, whatever. All that stuff has to take place. It's going to interrupt. Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you. Roll off. Demonstrate that. Open my magazine, then open later when nothing's going to interrupt me. Make sense? In this whole interaction with the girl, you have to really believe that you are the prize, through and through. Is that hard to believe for some of you?
In the moment, I mean, right now it's not hard to believe at all, but in the moment, right before the approach, that is usually the thought.
It's real easy. If you stand back, don't communicate interest but DHV, you don't fall into the trap of being the next guy hitting on her.
Mm-hmm.
It's a safe. We use the indirect method.
Is there any particular way that you anchor yourself to that belief that I'm the prize? To, you know, maybe set that frame in your own belief, in your own head before you.
You are the prize,
Right.
dude. The best way I can describe it, I try to remember when I was a child. Daddy was a warm, fuzzy creature in my life. You know, you ever get lost at the supermarket without your mom or dad, or the thought of your dad not coming home? It's a pretty scary thought. So a man, especially in like primitive cultures, it was a luxury to have. That you just don't feel that way because of this new environment. And it can only benefit you to think that you are the prize. And you are the prize if you have these characteristics. You are the attractive woman. I saw a show this morning. It's, who's the character? Oh, what was her name? Who's that lady married to Richie Sambora?
Heather Locklear.
Heather Locklear and Hilary Duff. They were in some movie together. And Heather Locklear is the aging mother, and she's talking about this new guy. Oh, he's really sweet, and blah, 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 blah. She's not talking about his look. She's talking about how he's going to treat her and how lucky she is. Can you see what I'm talking about? What's your first name?
Freddie.
Freddie. Oh, my Freddie. Freddie's so sweet. He does this, he does this, he does this. And you are a cut above the rest because of what you've conveyed to her. And you're a rare find. I mean, is this making sense, Chelsea? Okay? Aside from if you don't look like Brad Pitt or whatever they told you was sexy, it's just not how they operate. You know, all the crap that they sifted through, they found a guy with your settings, your personality and emotional settings, you're a rare find. Remember I talked about way of being, becoming this type of man, not just faking it? Because if you are it, it'll be natural. And she will feel that you're the prize, and you'll feel that you are the prize by the way she treats you like a king. And it's a little awkward at first. Just if you need permission from someone, hell, I'm giving you permission, Freddie.
Thank you.
Okay? If you can't give yourself permission, sometimes people can't do that, you know? Just because I'm in some kind of authoritative role, disseminating this information, that's all. I gave myself permission. Did I? I give myself permission for a lot of things I shouldn't. But yeah, I gave myself permission. But that was a significant step. Actually, okay, this body of information gave me the permission. Mm-hmm. That's probably the most realistic answer.
Right.
Because I'm an aggressive guy. I go for the kill. I have some sensitive sides too, but I have no problem. I have a sensitive side and I have aggressive killer side. I never have a problem, what's the right word? Going for the kill, whether it's on a math test or a martial arts tournament or a girl, metaphorically speaking. Some people do. Like, some people are afraid of success. Have you ever had moments in your life where you're just on the verge of like a big victory and you get that disgusting feeling creep up, like, I want to blow it?
No,
Yeah. Some people fall victim to that. Can anybody relate to what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? You're like, bum, 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 you worked on a project for 3 months, or let's say that, yeah, you worked on a project for 3 months and you're just about to win, and some disgusting feeling comes up inside.
You sabotage yourself.
Yeah. Well, I totally weed that out, but it pops up. Some people fall victim to it. They don't see if you don't know yourself and all these different the complexity of your mind and these emotional undercurrents. You may fall victim to that. It may manifest itself as not showing up to a key meeting, taking drugs, or many other forms. Who's religious here? I think in the Bible they talk about that, like help yourself or something like that. Help thyself, or I remember watching or reading some clip that actually addressed that point, that helping yourself and going after I don't know. I might be. What's that?
Maybe I usually get shit. I don't know what
Oh,
you mean.
okay.
I
But
think it's like God doesn't help those who don't help themselves.
yeah.
The meaning.
But does everybody understand that? And here's what will creep up in this game. You'll get a girl's number, attractive girl, and you won't call her. Not because she's going to say no, it's because what's going to happen if she says yes. You're going to thwart all the stress dealing with the day two. Who can see that happening? Okay, hey, dude, no one's judging anybody here. Okay? I don't think anybody's face is going to be on this thing. It's all going to my face. Hell, I'll admit it. I'll admit that disgusting feeling creeps up. Does it creep up with you? You got to kill that shit right there. Right?
It's more afraid of the rejection of what might happen.
No, because you got the number already.
But if you call, it might not work out. You might not be able to set up a date too, and then you'd feel disappointed rather than the fact that, hey, I didn't.
Yes, and you have exactly, and you have to, and exactly, that happens in the beginning. I've gotten way past it, but you have to relish being there in the moment and playing with super hot girls, because, dude, when it's a win, it feels damn good.